here, so David's in the other room. So welcome to our challenge Zoom call for February 11th, 2015. And the true and faithful are on this call. We've got Julie and Lori and Denise and Larry right here at 7:04. And I'm sure more people will join us. Anyway, hope everybody's feeling happy. We only have 2 more weeks left. Are you scared?
Yeah.
No, it'll be great. It'll just be great. So, you know what? We're going to talk about, and you guys all know what this is now, but mindfulness. And so I thought I would just talk to you for a few minutes about some of this stuff that will sound familiar. Feel free to add in when you feel like it. Peggy, welcome. I can see your name before I see your face. There you are.
Okay.
It's good to have you. Anyway, you know, in every place, in every meal, in every glass of water, in everything we do, it is so wonderful if you can have your mind with you. Because it is, if you don't have your mind, you do things that, I mean, you just do the knee-jerk reaction, and oftentimes we're not happy with how that turns out. So you have to be aware. And so sometimes we're trying to break our behavioral chains, the things that we've done for years and years and years. And you guys all caught me this week when I think I wrote, no, David, he's the one who blew the whistle on me, when he said, Claudia made mint brownies for the grandkids, and I didn't have any. Oh, gee, I was so caught. I thought, gosh, you know, it's true. That's a behavioral chain. I always think I need to give them goodies. In fact, I just did it again. They were just here. I mean, they're still here. And I fixed them these wonderful, sinful dessert. So I'll just tell you what it is so you guys can know what kind of sin it was. But I make cookies. I make cookie balls out of dough. Okay? So you just make them in round balls, and then you freeze them in your freezer. And then you can be a magical grandma when they come over, and you just pop them in. You don't even have to make them, just pop them in the oven. Well, we don't do it quite that way because my younger sons, you know, came up with a new thing, and they call it pazookies. And what they do is that they take a cookie ball or two and throw it in the bottom of a cup. And you put it in the microwave for about 40 seconds. And then, of course, you definitely need to top it with ice cream. That is very wicked. And I just gave it to my grandkids. So I have a bad chain here, and that I think that they need sweets. I have got to come up with healthy things so that we don't have wickedness around here, and my children will learn how to behave themselves. So, and not have to get rid of a bunch of weight like I had to. So anyway, another thing is the stop, challenge, choose trick. And we all know how that is, and it's cool. But the key is you have to stop, right? And take a minute to catch your breath or breathe 10 times or whatever, so you can make the choice, right? Anyway, so that's good. So as we've been through this challenge, and a couple of you have been through a couple of challenges. Welcome to the party, Kristen. There she is. Anyway, let's talk about some of your behavioral changes and what you've been trying to do to circumvent the natural man, if you want to call it that. Who's XT? Oh, it's Melanie. You're on. I'll just get you, girl. So we're talking about mindfulness, Melanie and Kristen. And so right now we're trying to decide, you know, share ideas. You see those guys? Share ideas of how you can overcome those times when you have wickedness around you. I shouldn't call it that because no food is bad, but just those things that are sweet and lovely and we all want all the time. Anybody want to share?
Oh, at this moment, it's wickedness. It's just plain evil. I'm sorry.
Yeah, how'd your husband do cooking dinner tonight, Lori?
You know what? He was pretty good. He came home early because he wanted to fix his motorcycle, and he only had a sandwich for himself, so I was saved.
Oh, that's very sweet that he wasn't cooking dinner then.
Oh.
Anybody else have anything you want to share with how you stop yourself from eating the things that you feel drawn to? Or
well, Claudia has a picture that I sent to her email privately, so she knows what I look like. So I have this that is folded up in my pocket. And when I feel like I'm about to blow it, I pull out my picture that is folded in my pocket, and it reminds me where I don't want to be.
Oh my gosh, you carry motivation with you. I thought you looked great, but we all know we're our own worst critics, Lori. Anybody else?
I have 50 pounds to lose. I want to lose 50 pounds, and I'm very motivated to do this. And so, I've made a commitment that, first of all, I have to admit where I'm at instead of hiding it, because I think I've been in denial for 10 years. So it's time to just admit it, and it's time to move forward in my life and change all these terrible habits that I have.
You're awesome. She sent me this email, and she goes, I feel like I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous. My name is Lori. This is me. This is a picture of me, and I admit I need to change.
I'm a food addict. Yes.
That's right, food addict.
Food addict.
I'm not as tempted by the good stuff as I am by the gross stuff. I don't know why, but it's like leftover quesadillas look delicious. Half of a gross piece of orange that's already been in my kid's mouth. Like, it's gross stuff. I'm not tempted by cookies. It's like not really in her mouth, but it's about to go there. I feel like I get tempted by the gross stuff, like stale marshmallows, and and then I just have to think, this is dumb and gross. Throw it in the sink.
Good girl. That's funny. Anybody else have anything like that, or some special secret? Julie, what do you do? I know you've got a secret.
I just try not to buy it in the first place. My kids are like, "Where are all of our snacks?" I'm like, "At the store still. Sorry."
Here's a quarter. Go get yourself one.
Well, my husband came home with a package of Oreos 2 days ago, and I sat on the counter and I said, "Those are either going in the garbage or you better hide them." And they have been hidden, but I heard my 14-year-old yesterday yell, "Mom, I found your stash." And I said, "That ain't my stash. And don't you tell me where it is, and I better not smell it. I better not see a crumb."
That's awesome.
They are supportive. I don't know where it's hidden, and I'm not looking.
That is great. I love it. Oh, gee. Hey, Peggy, how are you feeling?
I'm sick. Getting there.
Are you? You've been sick for weeks. We want you to get better.
Yeah, I do too, because I don't like being sick. It's made it, I'm still trying to do as much as I can, but this is kind of because I can't exercise because I can't breathe. So yeah.
Well, hang in there. We'll all say an extra prayer for you, okay?
I need them.
It takes 3 months.
It takes 3 months to get over.
I had what she had, and antibiotics, and touch it. It's just it's miserable.
Wow.
It is. It's just miserable.
I'm so sorry. Well, I'm going to give you a few suggestions, shall I, of the healthy mind ideas. When we expect something to bring us pleasure and relief from distress, that expectation, I'm reading this thing from Dr. A, that expectation actually amplifies the reward value of food. So if you expect it to bring you pleasure, then it actually does because of your expectation. And so that's why we call it the vicious cycle, is that you want the food, you taste it, it's good, it rewards you, and you are in trouble. So how do you change the cycle? So the first one is change our emotional appraisal or expectation of food to bring comfort, okay, or happiness. And what you're trying to do is retrain your brain to think in a different way. And so you want to draw towards what you want and push away from what is no longer desirable. And the way you do it is to develop a statement, and you're going to love these because it's true, that draws you toward healthy eating habits, like this. I feel great when I choose a healthy way to cope with my emotions. That's very positive. I feel great when I choose a healthy way to cope with my emotions. So that's drawing towards you what you want. Then you develop a statement that pushes away from using food as a coping mechanism, something like, eating to comfort myself actually makes me feel more miserable. Or in Kristen's case, eating my kids' leftovers is sick. You know, I mean,
It's true and sad.
So it's our mantra. It's our mantra for what we do.
That's right. And so you think of a positive thing. Hey, I eat healthy. You know, I always eat healthy. And even if you do eat something you shouldn't, and then you catch yourself, you can just say, hey, you know what? Usually I don't eat cake. You know, usually I don't do that because I eat healthy. I mean, you can kind of recover from it too. And then I don't eat food like that because afterwards I have really indigestion or it just makes me feel rotten. So, you know, just these little statements that remind you. Okay, so that's the first thing. So the next one is find behaviors to replace food. Okay, have you ever heard of this? They say develop a menu that lists any pleasurable activities that you can think of and comforting activities. And this way you'll have a list of options you can use to obtain pleasure or relief from emotional distress. And so they've got an example of this. Some examples of comfort menu items include deep breathing. We know about that. In, I am, out, loved. You are loved. Anyway, deep breathing, meditation, positive imagery, squeezing a stress ball, giving yourself a hand massage, make a stress-free zone to relax within, spend time outdoors in the sun, stretch, take a walk, listen to your favorite song, write your emotions down, light scented candles, smell citrus or coffee, talk to a friend, cuddle with a pet, fold a batch of laundry, call your mother. I mean, write in your journal. You know, so what we used to call these, and I don't know why they don't call them this anymore, but I loved it. It was just called an instead list. So when you get that urge to eat food, when it's not time to eat food or food that is not healthy, then you have an instead list, and just write down things that you would like, that you want, that you like, find pleasurable. So it's kind of fun. It's not horrible stuff, and just takes about 10 minutes to get yourself out of that mode. So we're after an instead list, or as they call it, a comfort menu. Okay, so put it on a 3x5 card and post it on your refrigerator. Okay, so that's a new idea. Welcome, Barbara. Glad you're here.
Hi.
Okay, and the last one, it says you can use the items on, this is called trigger and strategy. You can use the items on your comfort menu to fill in as the new routine. So you're after a new routine. And so it can look like when, identify the cue, I will, and then you're going to identify your new routine because it provides me with identify the reward. So when I feel stressed, so there's the cue, stressed, I will take a long walk. There's the new routine because it provides me with a calm and peace of mind, a sense of calm and peace of mind. So that's the reward. Okay, so you come up with a strategy. So I like that. I think that's really good. So when you get hungry, how many of you guys have some sort of strategy that when you get hungry, what do you do? Larry, you've got something. I know it.
Well, lately I have battled with some of the craving kind of things. And just the last couple of days, when I feel like I just really want something that I know isn't the best choice, I'll go drink a 16-ounce glass of water.
Wow.
And I've sort of gotten to where I'll drink water and instead of eating it, and then if I still want to eat it, I'll drink more water until I'm sloshing, and then it doesn't sound near as good. And if I do indulge, then I never eat as much as I would.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you filled it up with water. That's good. Anybody else have something that they tried with a strategy to keep you from eating the stuff you don't want to eat? Barbara, what do you do?
I just try not to have it around.
Try, just like Julie, that's what she said too. I try not to have it around. And you do stairs, my gosh. You go find stairs or something.
Well, stairs has become my new friend.
You're awesome. That's just great.
I think it's kind of hard. Like, it's easy right now to say, oh, well, I have 2 more weeks and then, you know.
Right.
But that's going to be a problem because I think right now it's easy to be kind of motivated because it's like, okay, well, right now we're not on the rest of our life. But I think that's the hard part is you need to develop it while you're on the program so that when you're done, you don't go crazy, you know?
Yeah.
I wish I could rearrange the way my house is built. Kitchen is like in the very middle of everything. There's no hanging out without the kitchen in sight.
It's true. It is true. Well, that's good. That's very good.
I think sometimes though you need to realize that even if you want something, you can still allow yourself to have it. Just don't overeat the whole thing. You know, just take a piece of it and then say that's enough for right now, and I'm done with it. That satisfied me, and say that was good.
Well, and it seems like you could also say, okay, I'll put that on the counter and come have it in 20 minutes, or I don't know. It's probably surprising how often you'd forget about it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I like both of those suggestions, you know, because sometimes if you get yourself too deprived of all the things that you love, then when you break, it's not a small break.
No.
It's a really big thing. And whereas had you just simply had a bite, like Barbara's saying, you know, or Kristen putting it on the counter and waiting, and if you still want it 20 minutes later, sheesh, have a bite, you know. The trouble with some of us is a bite starts an avalanche.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't have a bite because I have a bite, I just want more and more and more. But, okay, so my thing now is when I'm wanting something like tonight, I got home from church and it was like I had 15 minutes before the call starts. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, I'm like really hungry. I want to eat something. But so what I've been doing at night when that happens is getting like 2 little crackers, like little Cheez-It crackers, and putting some cheese on it. Two. And it's not like something sweet like or whatever that I would get out of control with. And then that seems to be okay. And then drink some water.
Yeah, and the protein in that cheese probably filled you, you know? Yeah, good. You know, good. That's great. If you're trying to do like the strict 5-in-1, you have to kind of be careful. But there are some things that you can use, you know, like some protein or, you know, some vegetables or something like that that can quell your desire. So, but that's right. Just address it though. Anyway, well, they have one more thing listed here, and then that will be it. It just says, whereas the old automatic response would be to eat when feeling stressed. Oh, and this is still the idea of the taking the strategy. The new routine would be to take a walk. So this planned response is a guideline for you to follow. So write it down, read it, practice it. We're going for progress, not perfection. And I think that goes into the bite Barbara's talking about. Change is a process. It's not an event. So I think that's good to really remember. So let's talk for 1 minute about mindfulness or quiet time. What are you guys finding in that? Is that helpful? Can you notice a difference when you do it? Barbara, you're shaking your head. Tell me what you're finding.
I think that it just allows me a chance to just reflect on what I'm doing and just, it's a stress reliever.
Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great. Anybody else? I'll tell you my experience, because I learned this a year or two ago, and it was just to, and the way I do it is a little different, but it's kind of a meditation type thing. And I take my phone and I get the Pandora station called Calm Meditation, and it just has music on it, but it's kind of interesting music because a lot of it is music I've never heard before, which is part of the important thing, is that it's not, you can't hum to it. So you're just listening, and then you just get really comfortable and you try to empty your mind of every thought, and you just do it for 5 minutes, but you're listening to this music, and anytime a thought comes in, then I would say something like, I mean, if this is really meaningful, but empty, just trying to empty my mind. Or you could say words like love or peace or something like that doesn't really evoke a lot of thought, but just, Anyway, what I noticed was that it seemed like when I had some decisions to make, it like those snap decisions where you think, oh man, I want that cookie, or I want whatever, that I felt like there was just a smidgen of time to stop, challenge, choose. And before, I was just always in a rush and already had the Oreo in my mouth before I thought about stop, challenge, choose. I was just on a run. So that's what I feel like it did, was give me just that little tiny bit of moment of decision-making power. Anyway, don't know if any of you guys have had that, and maybe I'm mental, probably, but it worked.
No, I do a similar thing, only I downloaded like nature sounds, and so I love the sound of light rain. So there's one track on that on my phone that I always carry earplugs or headphones in my purse. And it doesn't matter where I'm at, even if I'm at work and things are, sometimes I do medical billing, and sometimes when you see all those numbers, by the time 3 or 4 hours goes by, you have to take a break or you're going to make a mistake. And I will go out and sit in my car and put the rain song on and
awesome.
do my 5-minute meditation. And I have found that it does help me to stop when I want to go eat something. It's like, this time is for me. I've raised my kids, and it's time now for Lori to take care of Lori, and that's how I'm de-stressing. It's the similar thing that you're doing, with Pandora.
Yeah, that's great. Anybody else do something like that?
I fall asleep sometimes.
Don't relax too much. I mean, a little bit. Go ahead and fall asleep.
Yeah.
You got work to do.
No, I will actually doze. I'll catch myself in 15 minutes going, wow, I think I fell asleep.
Wow. That's great. Anybody else do anything like that?
I don't put on music, but I took a mindfulness class last year, and they said one of the things you can do if your mind keeps going off and thinking about other things, concentrate on the sound of your breath going in. Imagine seeing it go in and swirl around in your lungs and then breathing it back out, and focus on the breathing and how it feels. And then every time you breathe in real deep, how does it make your hands and your feet feel? And all, you're at least focused on the immediate here and now, and it doesn't allow your mind to go off and think about the things that are causing you hypertension.
Gee, that's great. That's really great. Thanks for sharing that. Anybody else? Julie, do you do anything? Or are you just in a mad rush all day?
No. I got to go, though. I'm sorry.
I wondered. You turned into a phone, so see you later.
Sorry. Okay.
Hey, you know what? We're about off, so you take care.
You're going to go exercise, right?
Yeah, right.
Go play
basketball.
Okay, see you later.
Thanks.
Anyway, well, this has been fun, everybody. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to talk about before we hang up?
There is another challenge, is there not, after this one is over in 2 weeks?
You know what? Yeah, I think there's coming one in March. So you're certainly welcome to get right back on if you want, or if you want to take a break. take a break. But if it helps you to be on a challenge, yeah, I think there's one coming up in March. I'll sure put the details on the Beal Team Healthy Games. And if you have friends that want to do it, if they're your Facebook friends, add them to that little thing, and I'll put when we get the link to sign up for it, I'll put it on there. So be fun.
I want to do one when I'm healthy.
You want to what? Yeah, do one.
I want to do one when I'm healthy.
You've really gotten ripped off this time, that's for sure, you poor girl.
Yeah, I'm not making my goal.
No, that's okay. It's most important that you get better. But anyway, yeah, there will be another one, Lori. So that's great.
Good.
Anyway, you guys are awesome. This is fun. Nobody has anything to say? Complaints, criticisms?
No.
Just appreciate your support.
Oh, you betcha. Absolutely, you guys. Hey, thanks for getting on, and I will put this little recording on our site. Take care.
Thanks.
And hey, thanks for posting. I love all your posts so much. It's just so great. Motivating and inspirational for all of us. Thank you.
Have a great rest of the week, everybody.
Yeah, see you, Lauren.
You too,
Good night. You too.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.